to all participants in last session of 2 days online refresher course organized by Indukaka Epkawala College of Pharmacy, which is sponsored by Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. It's my immense pleasure to introduce our speaker for the session, Dr. Ashok Mahajan. Sir did his B.Pharm from MGVM College of Pharmacy, Nasik, Pune University, M.Pharm from KLE College of Pharmacy, Belgaum, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science, Bangalore, and PhD from Ganpat University, Kherwa, Gujarat. Sir is having academic experience of 17 years. Currently, Sir is working as a professor and head at Department of Pharmaceutics, Indukaka Epkawala College of Pharmacy, New Vallabh Vidyanagar, a constituent college of CVM University. During his academic career, Dr. Ashok and his team received third prize for Best Research Project in AICTE MHRD organized COVID-19 Mega Challenge for Fighting Against Corona in April 2020. Sir ranked first position during a Tech Pitch event in GTU Tech Fest 2019 held at BEATS Education Campus. Dr. Ashok is the recipient of Best Performer Award at APP 5th Indo-Malaysian Conference. Sir fetched a research grant for minor research project of rupees 2 lakh from Bhuj Coast. Sir received grant under different units of SSIPs like GTU SSIP, Student Open Innovation Challenge SSIP, and Government of Gujarat SSIP and iHub, worth amount rupees 80,000, 90,000 and 1,75,000 respectively. On his credit, 2 granted Australian innovation patents are there. His 2 Indian patent has been published, and Sir has applied for 3 more Indian patents. Sir has published 29 research articles in national and international journal of repute. Sir has written 2 book chapters in Springer Publisher and also published 1 book. Dr. Ashok is a reviewer in various national and international journals. With this brief introduction, I invite Dr. Ashok Mahajan on behalf of Indukaka Epkawala College of Pharmacy to deliver a talk on concept of generic drugs and its selling in India and abroad. Welcome you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, your voice is not audible. Yes, now it is audible.
Sir, I think it is not visible. Please again start it so it will be easy. Sir, your voice is not audible. No, sir. No.
Now it is audible?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for the introduction. Can I start?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, okay. Thank you for inviting me to deliver a talk or share my views on concept of generic drugs and its sale in India and abroad. You all know that generics nowadays are being replaced by the branded drug. So in my presentation, I'll be explaining you about what these generic drugs are all about. Then also I'll be talking about the branded drugs. In addition to that, how generic is being practiced in India and how generics is being practiced in USA. So I'll just have a comparison and how the pharmacists are substituting or giving a generic drug for a branded drug molecule. So before starting with the generics, I would like to brief you about what are branded drugs. So these branded drugs are also called as innovator drugs. For example, if a Sun Pharmaceutical is there and they want to develop a, drug for or a formulation for a lung cancer, and that formulation for a lung cancer is not available in India or it is not available worldwide. So they are the pioneers who has developed a formulation and they have put that formulation into the market. So once the formulation comes for a first time in the market, so that formulation is referred to as a branded drug. So whenever this formulation is been developed by the Sun Pharmaceuticals, they has to go for various preclinical trials so that they assure that whatever the product goes to the market, it is safe and it is effective and it claims to treat safe for the human use. So during this branded drug product journey, generally, as if you all know that whenever first time whenever the drug product comes to the market, it takes a long journey of near about 10 to 15 years. So first stage talks about the invention, the discovery of the molecule, then it goes with the animal studies. Once the animal studies are through, and if in animals the activity is shown in a promising way, then they go for clinical trials. And Mr. Nikunj Parekh sir has explained in detail about the details of the clinical trials. So generally, clinical trials talks about the studies on the human beings where you are proving your drug molecule it is safe and effective. Now once the clinical trials are over, and if the drug molecule passes successfully all the clinical trials, then company has a molecule which will be put into the market. So before that drug molecule is being put into the market, company always go for a patent. So because as I've said that I've given the example of a lung cancer formulation which is been developed by Sun Pharmaceuticals. So whenever Sun Pharmaceuticals has a molecule which has passed
Ashok,
all
sir.
huh?
Sorry to interrupt you, but slideshow is not visible and the slide is not moving. Give us some few minutes to resolve the problem.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Now slides are visible.
Yes, completely visible, sir.
slides changing when I'm changing the slides?
Yes, sir, it is changing when you
Yes,
are
yes.
shifting the slides.
Yes, sir, it's changing.
Okay, okay, fine,
Not
fine.
else.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So what I was telling you that whenever Sun Pharmaceutical is a pioneer for that lung cancer drug delivery or drug formulation, it will go for a patent. Now that patent claims that, or depending upon the region where the patent has been filed, it is generally having a expiry date of 20 years. So Sun Pharmaceutical is the first pioneer who has put that molecule for a lung cancer in the market, and that Sun Pharmaceuticals will enjoy the rights for manufacturing and selling for the entire 20 years. None of the company, because it is a patented molecule. So this patented molecule, as I've told you, it is also referred to as a branded molecule. It is also referred to as a innovator's molecule. Now, when this patent gets expired, or whenever it is at the age of the expiry, then the uh, competitor pharmaceuticals will start working on the generic molecule, and then that molecule will be put up into the market. So this is the cycle of innovation and competition. Branded company means I have given you the example that Sun Pharmaceuticals have invented a molecule. So once they have invented a molecule, it is a new molecule. So they have a monopoly in terms of patent. So they enjoy the rights exclusive for marketing and selling that drug molecule for 20 years. So after patent expiration, then there is an open market for generic competition. So at that time, uh, one point I would like to tell you that once the patent is there, during these 20 years, the company doesn't earn a single amount from all those studies. So once a patent is been granted for any pharmaceutical company, in order to recover the losses for these, or in order to recover the losses which has been put by that company during these 15 years, that is being recovered with the help of the MRP of the tablet. So generally we see that whenever any patented product is there or any branded product is there, the cost is very high. So whenever the patent gets expired, then generic companies come into the market and generics are distributed. So the branded company loses the revenue. So once a generic companies put the molecule, then the competition is there between the branded and the generics, and the cost then reduces. So this is the cycle of innovation and competition. So whenever you talk, whenever you talk about these generic drugs is nothing but a copy of an original branded drug product. Once the patent of the original product is expired, the other pharmaceutical companies are able to create the own version of the medicine. Own version means they can't copy. The excipient should not be same. The excipient differs from the original or branded drug product. So generic drugs is chemically equivalent. Means chemically means, for example, if I want to give example of branded and a generic, chemically means it will have the same API. API means it will have the same drug. For example, if I say a branded tablet of paracetamol, means it will contain paracetamol, and a generic version of paracetamol, it will contain a paracetamol. So that is, I'm talking about a chemically equivalent. So it has a lower cost of branded, lower cost as compared to the branded name. Now, whenever any pharmaceuticals want to develop a generic version of a generic version, there are certain requirements. Those requirements are generic drug should be having a same active ingredient. For example, if there are two generic products, then both of the if there is one generic product and one branded product, in both generic and in branded drug product, the API should be same. For example, if you have a paracetamol tablet, the generic should contain paracetamol and the branded product should contain paracetamol. It should not happen that the generic will have a paracetamol along with diclofenac. So it is not a generic. So first is you have to have a same active ingredient. Second one is it should having the same dosage form. Dosage form means if a branded is a tablet, then generic should be a tablet. If a branded is a syrup, and if a generic is a tablet, it should not happen. So it should have same dosage form. Third one is it should have same strength. Strength means the dose. For example, if I'm talking about a branded version and it contains 500 mg of paracetamol, so generic should also contain 500 mg of paracetamol. It should not happen that generic should have 250 mg. So these are one of the basic requirements when any pharmaceutical company wants to develop a generic drug molecule. The next is whenever the therapeutic action should be same. Means, for example, now I have given you the example of paracetamol. It is used to decrease the body fever. So the both of the tablets should have the same pharmacological action into the body. Then next one is the inactive ingredients. Means apart from the drug, a lot of excipients are being used in the formulation of that dosage form. So these excipients will not affect any or it will not give any kind of an effect into the body. So it says that inactive ingredient should be safe and it is not hindering the absorption, distribution or ADME characteristics of the drug molecule. So these are some of the basic requirements for generic drugs. Now, what is allowed in the generic drugs? Means what differences can be there between a branded drug and a generic drug. So these are some of the differences which are being allowed. For example, a branded drug and a generic drug may have different salt. For example, I'm talking about a diclofenac and diclofenac sodium. So if an original drug product is having a diclofenac and if a generic version goes for a salt form, got it? It is being allowed as per the regulations, provided the salt and the excipients does not affect the safety and efficacy of the drug molecule. I am again repeating, the salt version is only allowed whenever the salt form does not significantly affect the efficacy. Efficacy means it does not affect the or it does not decrease any kind of an action into the body. So in that case, and this salt is been allowed by the various regulatory bodies, USFDA regulatory bodies, European regulatory bodies, as well as Indian regulatory bodies. So this is the first difference. It can have different salt. Second difference is it can have different excipients. Color may be different, flavor may be different, preservatives may be different. Then it may have a shape. The original branded product may have a or it is having a circular tablet. The generic may have a different shape. It may have a different size. It may have different scoring also. And the important point is also that the drug expiry date will be also different than the generic as well as compared to the branded drug product. The manufacturing process also can be different, and they may have a different product name, of course, and also packaging. So these differences are allowed between a generic and a branded drug molecule. So all these companies, whenever they develop these generic formulations, they keep these things into the mind. Now, the next question comes that whenever you substitute any generic version for a branded molecule, the question always comes to the one's mind, whether it is a patient, whether it is a pharmacist, or whether it is a doctors, how these generics are, or whether they are safe or whether they are effective. So in order to prove the generics are effective and safe, all the pharmaceutical companies has to do the bioequivalence studies. Now, what do you mean by bioequivalence studies? Bio means biological system. Equivalence means companies, these bioequivalence studies, equivalence means same. This means that whenever you are giving a branded drug product to the human being, and whenever you are giving a generic drug product to the human beings, it should show same effect. So that is referred to as bioequivalence studies. Now, whenever I'm talking about the different regulatory bodies, because USFDA is considered to be one of the most stringent regulatory bodies for any kind of a drug approval. So if you talk about USFDA or if you talk about India, they both countries follow same guidelines that whenever a generic is being compared with the branded drug molecule, they have to perform the bioequivalence studies. So what is bioequivalence studies? The bioequivalence studies is nothing but it is a rate and extent to which active ingredient becomes available at the site of the action. In short, we have to prove, or the pharmaceutical company who is manufacturing the generic version, he has to, or that company has to prove that generic is showing the same effect in the human beings. So if it is showing the same effect in the human beings, then and then only that generic version can be substituted for the branded drug molecule. Got it? Now, during these bioequivalence studies, they will compare basically certain parameters. So those parameters are Cmax, AUC. Now, what is Cmax? Cmax is nothing but whenever I'll be giving a branded drug molecule, what is the maximum concentration of that branded drug which goes to the circulation or which goes to the systemic circulation. Similarly, I'll be checking the AUC. AUC is nothing but, in simpler words, it talks about how much molecules of drugs are going into the systemic circulation. For example, I am taking a paracetamol tablet, and paracetamol tablet contains 500 mg of molecules. So during absorption, it may possible that all the 500 molecules will not reach to the systemic circulation. So out of 500 molecules, maybe 400 molecules which reaches the systemic circulation. So that is referred to as AUC. So during these bioequivalence studies, we are checking that whether the Cmax of the generic medicine and whether the Cmax of the original medicine is same or not. Similarly, we are checking the AUC of the generic medicine and AUC of the original brand or the innovator medicine is same or not. If it is not same, then it is not bioequivalent. If it is same, then and then it is considered to be bioequivalent, and then we can substitute that drug molecule as a generic version. Now, there is a lot of confusion about the myths or the facts about generic drugs. Generic drugs are not inferior in quality to the branded drugs. So I just wanted to say that the generic drugs are equivalent to the branded drug molecules. They are not inferior in quality. Then generic pills do not contain less active ingredient than the branded drug products. No, it is not so. As I've already given you the example that if paracetamol, one of the product of paracetamol is branded, it will have 500 mg dose. The generic will also has 500 mg dose. Got it? So if I talk about now, this 500 mg dose is for adults. Now, if you are preparing a generic version for smaller children, the dose is 125. So in that case, the branded drug should have 125 mg and the generic version should have 125 mg. So it goes in that way. It doesn't happen that active ingredient is less in generic or in case of the branded drug product. It is not so. Now, the third point is that inactive ingredients in generic do not affect the absorption. Got it? So it is not so. So if all the excipients which are being used in the generic, it has been also seen that they will not affect any kind of an absorption during, so that ultimately the absorption is responsible for the action into the body. And patients who are well controlled on a branded medication can be switched to a generic medication. So a lot of confusion is there, because if for a period of 5 years, if a patient is giving or patient is taking a branded medication and the cost of that medication is too high for him, then we can substitute a generic version for that patient. It is not going to happen that if the patient is shifting from a branded to generic, it will not show any kind of an differences. It will have the same effect what the branded medication is giving. Whenever you talk about these generic drugs in generic drug, its sale in India and abroad, there are different situations. Got it? So in Indian scenario, if anyone wants to put a generic, for example, if a patient is there in India and that patient goes to the pharmacist, got it? So in India, there is no as such any kind of an rules or guidelines that this product should be substituted against that drug molecule. Got it? So pharmacists will push those brands that offer higher margins. But if you compare the same things in USA, the scenario is different. The pharmacist can legally substitute generic medicines for branded drug product which are mentioned in the Orange Book. Now, what is Orange Book? Orange Book is nothing but one kind of an official book which is being published by US FDA. And this book contains all the list of patented product as well as the generic product. And hence, when in USA, if a patient goes at the chemist and he or she wants to have a generic version, So at that time, the pharmacist needs to see what basically the substitution can be possible for that drug molecule. So I'll just be explaining you in the coming slide how the substitution takes place in the USA in the for any kind of a branded drug product. Now, what is Orange Book? Orange Book, the name of first of all, why the name Orange Book? It is nothing related to any kind of an oranges. The first book, which was being published by US FDA in October 1980, the color the cover page of that book was orange, hence the name is called as Orange Book. Got it? Now this Orange Book basically contains approved drugs products with therapeutic equivalence and evaluation. Now the latest version, I'm talking about 2023, so it is the 43rd edition. So every year this Orange Book is being published. It is updated on a monthly basis. So what all generic products which are coming to the market, what are patented products which are coming into the market, also what products which are being removed from the market. So all the information is been there into this Orange Book. Now, generally, if you talk about this Orange Book, what this Orange Book will give you an idea. One important thing which I want to tell you is that in USA, it is mandatory for all the pharmacists that you have to keep these Orange Book in the medical shop, right? Also, this Orange Book is also kept in the hospital. So a doctor or a nurse or a pharmacist who wants to go for a substitution for a branded drug molecule or generic version for a branded drug molecule, he has to refer this Orange Book. Now, this Orange Book has got different sections. It starts from introduction, how to use, the drug product list, the patent information, and the exclusivity information. From the point of a community pharmacist, the most relevant section is drug product list. Now, this drug product list is nothing but it gives an idea about all the formulations available in the market, whether it is a generic version or whether it is a branded version. So these drug product list in the Orange Books will give you an idea about the branded drug products. Now, these branded drug products in the Orange Book are also referred to as reference listed drug. It is called as RLD. Now, whenever any company wants to do a bioequivalence studies, means bioequivalence studies, which I have told you that comparison of generic with the branded drug products. So at that time, pharmaceutical companies has to choose a reference listed drug from this Orange Book, and they will be comparing their generic version with the branded drug product. So during the bioequivalence studies, the pharmaceutical companies has to use this RLD. RLD means it is nothing but the branded product from Orange Book to compare its generic version, and it is mandatory everywhere. Got it? Now, there are different codes which are being given in the Orange Book because of all many products are being listed into the Orange Book. So how one will able to know that whether a generic version is available for that drug product or not? So in that, for that purpose, TE code is given. T stands for therapeutic, E stands for equivalent. T means that is nothing but the pharmacological action which has been shown into the body. So that is referred to as therapeutic equivalence. So therapeutic codes or TE codes are being given for each drug product in the Orange Book. Now, a TE code is always a 2-letter code, and sometimes it is being followed by a number. For example, always the code is there in form of a 2 letters. Got it? AT or it is BT. If the first letter is A, then the A code means that it is therapeutic equivalence. Got it? And the second letter of the code, it talks about the dosage form. For example, if I'm having A first letter, it means therapeutic equivalence. This therapeutic equivalence means it talks about that a generic version is available for that drug molecule, and T stands for dosage form. So T is referred to as topical product. So in some drug products, BT is written down. So if a B is being a code, and that is a first letter code, so it talks about that there is no therapeutic equivalence for that drug molecule, means a generic version is not available for that drug molecule, and T stands for topical drug product. So I'll just tell you. So these are the different codes which are being given in the orange book. So these are all the A series, which talks about there are generic version available for all these drug product. The second letter talks about nothing but the dosage form. So A stands for oral solution, N stands for aerolized drugs, O stands for oily solutions, P stands for injectable aqueous solution, T stands for topical products, which I have given you the example. Now there is also one classification which I have told you, that is BCBD. So B stands for these drug molecules, bioequivalent is not available. So depending upon the dosage form, every drug molecule is being coded, and this coding is being done based on the therapeutic equivalence. Now, I've just taken one example from the orange book. Now I just wanted to give an example of erythromycin. This is the data which has been given in the orange book. So this is the TE codes. First of all, the name of the drug product will be given, erythromycin. Then its dosage form will be given, a tablet, and it is given by which route, oral. Then you will have the TE codes. Then you will have how many companies those drug molecules are manufacturing. Then you will have a dose. Then this A2136 is nothing but one kind of a number which has been used by US FDA for their official records. And besides that number, you will have some date. This date talks about when that drug product was registered under the drug product list. So this is the basic information which has been given down into the orange book. Now, if I see, there are 3 companies which are manufacturing this erythromycin. One is Cadila Pharma, second one is Teva Pharma, and third one is Torrent Pharma. So all these are having one code AB. Now this signifies, or what is the understanding which the pharmacist has to understand, that if, for example, a patient has been in the prescription, a Cadila Pharma 250 mg erythromycin is being given. Now, if basically that drug molecule is not been available, then we can, or the pharmacist can substitute a Teva pharmaceutical erythromycin tablet, which is a 250 mg, or he can substitute the 250 mg tablet of Torrent. So this is basically, it considered that all these drug products are bioequivalent. So this is basically use of this orange book. Now I am also having one more company that is called as Amneal Pharma. Now the code is BX. Now, as I've already told you, that this is not therapeutically equivalent, means generic version is not available. So you can't replace this Amneal Pharmas with the Cadila Pharmas, because the coding is different and you can't replace. So this is basically the information which is being given down into the orange book. Now, during the TE codes, which I've told you that the code is basically a 2-letter code. So sometimes a letter is also attached with that code. For example, AB1 and AB2. Now, what is this 1 and 2 talks about? When there are different drug molecules, more than 2 or more than 3 reference listed drug, means there are multiple companies which have a patented product of the same molecule. For example, I'm having metformin hydrochloride. These are the companies, for example, Sun Pharma to Unichem, then metformin hydrochloride of Ajanta. So if there are multiple branded products, so at that time, the letters are being given with the 2-letter code. So that is AB1 or AB2. Now, this is the example which I have taken. So metformin hydrochloride, which has been used to type 2 diabetes, and it is an extended release product. Now, this basically information shows that if a pharmacist want to go for a substitution, so if a Sun Pharma generic version is given for 500 mg, he has to submit from this group only. He can't substitute from AB1 to AB2. Why? Because whenever these pharmaceuticals have compared the bioequivalent studies, they have taken the standard from this group, not from this group. So this is basically to show that each product of that class is been basically comparable with the branded product. So this is codes which have been given into the orange book. I hope so the things are clear with respect to the different codes which have been given to the each products along with the numbers. Now Nowadays, basically, this Orange Book is also available on the US FDA website. You have to just type in the Google Orange Book, then this and the first search will help you to reach to the official website of the Orange Book. Now here you can search by different categories, or you can search by different ways. You can search by applicant, you can search by dosage form, you can search by oral, or you can search by route. If you just type that route, all number of search it will display, right? So this is called as an electronic version, means e-copy of the Orange Book. Now I'll just take one example that I have basically put one search that is called as atrophylating calcium onto this electronic version of the Orange Book. So this will give you similar information which has been there in the Orange Book. It will give market status, whether it is there in the market. It will talk about the active ingredient. It will talk about the name of the company or the property name, Lipitor. Then it will talk about the application number, then the dosage form, then the oral, then the strength, then it will also give you the TE codes. Now TE codes, now these products, they are having AB. Now this AB stands about these are therapeutically equivalent. It means we can go for generic substitution for this drug molecule. So this is information can be obtained on the official website, or you can get this information from electronic version of the Orange Book. Now I have again put one I just wanted to show another example. Ticagrelor is one molecule which have searched into these electronic version of the Orange Book. So Brilinta is a proprietary name. Then it has shown the application number, the dosage form, the route, but here the TE code is not given. So if no TE code is given, then it is being considered that a generic version is not available for that drug molecule. So in this way, basically, we can search whether generic version is available for a particular product or not. So the Orange Book is updated monthly with the generic version, with generic drug approvals, keeping consumers current on approved drugs in essentials to the issuance of alternate drug that substitutes have to be prescribed. Now whatever I've told you about the Orange Book, this Orange Book will have only the conventional drug molecules. Now US FDA also published another book. Now that book is called as Purple Book. Now this Purple Book will contain only the biological products. It will not contain the normal products. So this Purple Book is nothing but it is an FDA licensed biological products which has been regulated by a Center of Drug Evaluation and Research. And this Purple Book will give you an idea about three drug products: what is biosimilar, what is biological products, and what is interchangeable products. Now if you talk about biological products, there are different kinds of vaccines comes under biological product, blood and blood components come under biological products, gene therapies, monoclonal antibodies, these recombinant DNA technologies or recombinant proteins. So these huge, large, complex molecules comes under biological products. Now, just wanted to explain you, biological products are nothing but those products which are obtained from biotechnology using living systems such as microorganisms, plant or animal cells to produce it. So Purple Book will only have biologicals, biosimilars or interchangeable drugs. It will not have a normal version of a tablet capsule. No. And why basically this Purple Book I'm explaining you, because this Purple Book will also give an idea about the generic version of the biological product. So FDA has different books. One is the Orange Book, which talks about the normal drug products, their patented products and the generic version. The Purple Book talks about the biological product and its generic version. Now, if I want to compare the normal product with the biological products, so this is the graph. Now, the smallest molecule we are talking about, it is aspirin, then this is insulin, this is erythropoietin, and this is monoclonal antibody. So it is large, complex molecules. They are obtained from a living systems, maybe from a cell or from a plant cell stem or from a human cell, and they are basically a lot of complex molecules, very tricky molecules to basically manufacture. And the examples which I've already told you, they are proteins, vaccines, and monoclonal antibodies. Now, in these purple books, you will find three kinds of an product. First product is referred to as reference product. In short form, it is called as RP. Then second product is called as biosimilar product. Now, reference product, if I want to compare with the orange book, this reference product is nothing but I am talking about the branded drug product. So there are some companies which manufactures or which are involved in research, and they are the first companies to put a biological product into the market. So these products are referred to as reference product. Now, after the patent has expired, then the pharmaceutical companies put a generic version of a biological product into the market. So that biological product is referred to as biosimilar. Got it? So this biosimilar is nothing but a generic version, but it is not named as generic, but because of the products are biological in nature, so it is referred to as a biosimilar product. And then the third one is called as interchangeable products. Now, interchangeable products are such products. For example, if I want to give an example that okay, one patient is there and one product is being given or one reference product is being given for the treatment, got it, for a period of 6 months. Now there are some interchangeable drug products which is having the same activity of the reference product. The doctor can there is no need to go to the doctors. The pharmacist can see into this purple book if an interchangeable drug is available. So the pharmacist looking into the this purple book, he can directly substitute these interchangeable product in place of this reference product. Got it? So these three kinds of products are being available in the purple book. So this is called as the interchangeable products. Now, I just wanted to give an example of a disease when biological products are being used. So as you know that RA, rheumatoid arthritis, it is an autoimmune disease. It is an inflammatory disease. Generally, to treat RA, we go for normal NSAIDs, for example, ibuprofen, and this ibuprofen basically will cause the reduction in the pain and the inflammation. Whenever you talk about this RA, there is a swelling of all the joints takes place into the body. If that is not been solved, then we go for DMRDs, that is disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. Example is methotrexate. If these drugs are not you can say they are not sufficient to recover the disease, then basically we go for biological drug products. Now this is just a comparison why basically FDA has published the purple book. Now this is the innovator company where now these all are examples of these are all the examples of monoclonal antibodies and these are being used to treat the RA. Now, if you talk about a branded drug company, and if you talk about a cost of the treatment for 6 months, if the patient is taking a branded drug molecule, the cost in India for a biological product is 4,80,000. The cost is very huge in terms of biological product. Now, if a patient is being substituted with a generic version, in case of biologicals, it is called as biosimilar. The same cost is being reduced to half. It is 2,40,000. So this purple book will give you an idea about the cost also, and whether a biosimilar is available for the innovators company, so that a pharmacist can basically replace that drug molecule with the innovators company. So this is the PDF format which has been available in the US FDA website, where from that you can download and you can get an information. Now, also similarly to that of an orange book, you can also access these purple book electronically. This is basically the home page of purple books, database of licensed biological medicines, where you can just add the letters or any kind of a biological product. It will show the search engine. Now in this I've just given you an example that I have added one product that is called as Humira. Humira is nothing but one kind of an monoclonal antibody product, which has been used to treat the RA, that is called as rheumatoid arthritis. So it will show different drug molecules. So this is the proprietary medicine, or this is basically the reference product, and below that it will talk about biosimilars. So for this drug product, there are 3 biosimilars products available. So pharmacist can substitute any of the product for this reference drug product. Now matching cards are there. Matching card means, now in this example you can see that the purple color is there for all the labels. So it indicates that the reference drug product is exactly matching with the generic version, or it is exactly matching with the biosimilar. So this, by looking at the color itself, you will able to know that the biosimilar is available for a biological product. So matching cards color indicates a biological product is similar to the reference drug product. Now if you just click that label, then again you will get an information. It will talk about the drug name, it will talk about the active ingredients, as I have to, because last 3 MAB, that is called monoclonal antibodies preparation. Then it will talk about the strength, it will talk about the dosage form, it will talk about the prescription. Then this is the biosimilar. The Hulo is one kind of an brand name, or which is the biosimilar of a monoclonal antibody of the Humira. So it will have all the details, right from the dosage form to route of administration to the strength to the product to the product presentation to the license number and the proprietary name. So this is all. This was all about the Orange Book and the Purple Book. Now US FDA also published one book. That book is called as Green Book. Now what is this Green Book? Whatever the veterinary products which are been available, although veterinary products are being published in that green book. So this green book talks about all the list of drug products that have approved by US FDA and which has been used for a veterinary medicine. Now these veterinary medicine will also have a generic copy. So all the information of the generic version of all the veterinary products you will find in the green book. As I've told you, green was it is nothing related to any kind of in 1994, whenever the first copy of this green book was been published, the hardcover was green in nature. So these different colors are being given just to identify which book is which. So orange, it talks about the normal drug product, purple book, it talks about the biological drug products, and green book, it talks about the approved drug products for veterinary use, and it will give you an idea about the generic version of a branded for the branded molecule. Now these are some kind of contents which you will find in the green book. There are different sections from 1 to 8. First, we'll talk about the first section gives an idea about the new drug, animal, new if any kind of a new formulation which has been there in the market. So that market, so whatever the product which has been there in the market, that will come into this green book. Then it will talk about the active ingredients. It will give an information about the patents, patented product molecule. It will give an idea about the exclusivity period. Exclusivity period means it will give about the information when the patent is going to expire, or what exclusive periods are being given to that certain companies with respect to that molecule. Then if any kind of an if the drug molecule is being given to the drug is given to the animal, and if there are certain kind of an adverse reaction, so products subject to notice of hearing means it will have the list that such products are in the court of the US FDA. It is hearing has been going on because of the safety concerns in the animals also. So then there are the list of voluntary withdrawals, also the petition actions which is taken by the company and the US FDA. So all these information you can get into this green book. So these are the books which are official in most of the foreign countries. Here I have just taken one example of US FDA. They have Orange Book, Green Book, and the Purple Book. Now, one of the important things is that when one should not go for substitution, one of the most important criteria. So these are 3 things or 4 criteria one should not go for substitution, or generic version should not be substituted for the branded drug molecule. And what those criteria are: clinically significant intolerance to the inactive ingredients. So it means that कि अगर generic version में कुछ inactive ingredients है और वो inactive ingredients किसी पेशेंट में intolerance है, मतलब they are showing some adverse reactions, correct? So adverse reactions may be skin rashes, maybe paining in the heart, maybe redness throughout the body. So if such cases happens, then the generic version should not be substituted, because this effect is not because of the drug molecule. The effect is because of the inactive ingredients, and this inactive ingredients can be, the effect is shown basically in few people, but in some people it may not show the effect, but in some people, if the people are prone to that inactive ingredient, the side effects can be seen. So if such is the case, please do not substitute a generic version for that drug molecule, correct? Now, the consumers who are likely to become confused, or some people are vision impaired, जिसको communication हम वो कर नहीं सकते, so in that case, generally, in order to avoid the confusion, generic should not be substituted. If the drugs are having narrow therapeutic index, means the drug are very potent, got it? So in that case, generally we should not substitute these generic version. And whenever the consumer has a negative attitude to the submission, so if the consumer does not wants, because many a times whenever a patient goes to the medical shop and he is asking the same molecule which has been written down onto the prescription, but many a times pharmacist is forcing a generic version for his profit. So in that case, if a negative attitude is there in terms of for the patient, so please do not substitute these generic version for those molecules. Now, this is all what the aspects which have been there. Now, it is not so that India is lacking behind. India has also basically has, but India has not India is not having these any kind of an books available in form of an segregated form, but all the generic version, it is available in the regulatory body of the Indian regulatory body, CDSCO. If you want to search, they will have all the list of generic version. They will have all the list of biological products. So the generic version in India by Sri Narendra Modi ji sir, Honorable Prime Minister of India. So what was their vision? To bring down the healthcare budget of every citizen of India through providing quality generic medicine at affordable prices. So for the promotion of the generics in India, Government of India has introduced the Jan Aushadhi scheme. Now, nowadays, apart from these Government of India has also, or these regulatory body of India, Jan Aushadhi Sugam, a software or a mobile application has been developed, so you can download, and this application can give you a lot of information. What are the generic versions available? What are the price? What are the prices of the generic version with the branded version? So comparison with the generic as well as branded medicine in form of MRP and overall savings are available into this in this mobile app. So this Jan Aushadhi Sugam mobile apps, it will give you search all Jan Aushadhi generic medicines and stores at the fingertip. Also, it will give an idea about the product comparison of generic versus MRP and overall savings. Now, this is the situation in India and US market. In US market, patented drugs are being sold, and the off patents generally are sold in the generic name, which helps making pure generics cheaper. But mostly in India are generics as a brand name generics and a generic name generics. So this is the difference in India. So we have a branded name generics and normal generics. Apart from these, basically, if you are comparing the India and US, in developed countries like US, community pharmacists plays an important role in dispensing the medicines. Hence, their cost awareness becomes crucial because of the well-defined structure and because of all these well-defined books which have been available, and community pharmacists helps the patients that which products you can choose in terms of reduction in the total cost of the product. But it is not so. India is also taking several steps into this regard, and they are basically providing each and every information on the website, provided it is not in a compiled way as in case of Orange Book, Purple Group, or in case of a Green Book for the veterinary drug products. Now, this is the final conclusion from Indian perspective. Now we have the guidelines. Got it? We so not only enhancing the guidelines, quality drugs in the market, not only providing guidelines will not enhance the quality in the market and subscribing. On the other hand, ensuring the quality with strict regulatory mandate and providing the updated information regarding the generics. For example, as given by US FDA in the Orange Book, will eventually enhance the prescription of generic drugs. Got it? So these generic drugs, if a compilation of copy is been available, it will serve as a book for the information to the state health agencies, prescriber means doctors, and also it will give an help to the pharmacist. So this is where I would like to conclude my presentation, where it if any questions are there, I'm happy if I can answer those.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session.
Thank you.
There is so much interactive session and people are very active. So many questions are there, but because of during the we are running out of the time, I would like to interpret a few of them. First is
Okay.
the substitution of generic drugs of is good practice. Why?
No, substitution of generic is a good practice because I have already told you there is no difference between a generic and a branded drug product. Whenever a company puts a generic version,
Hello, sir. Okay.
Sir, unmute your microphone.
sorry for the interruption because my battery backup has gone. The question was, is it safe that we should go for substitution for a generic version for a branded drug product? Now, the answer is that, see, the regulatory bodies have approved that generic version is equivalent to the branded drug product. And the companies are doing bioequivalence studies in human beings and they are claiming that it is safe. So if I want to give an example of a patient who is taking anti-diabetic tablet, if a branded drug product is being given to him or her, and this anti-diabetic tablet he has to take for his lifelong. So if you see the cost will be huge. So in order to make the cost of the tablet less burden for him, if a generic is available for that, we can go for the substitution in terms of cost of the reduction, because efficacy, safety is same as that of the branded drug product. I hope so. I'm able to clarify the answer for the asked question.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, another question is there any right pharmacist have that he can replace brand medicine to generic medicine to give patient from doctor's prescription?
Actually, see, if I'm talking about USA, they have the clear-cut rules that they can refer Orange books and they can go for substitution from generic to branded, depending upon the information which has been available in Orange, Purple book, or veterinary product. In case of green, in case of the green book. But in India, as such, the stigma is that actually rules are there that we can substitute. But here, the Indian in case of Indian, the scenario is different. If we substitute the basically basically the doctors feel does not good that a pharmacist has replaced and he has got more knowledge about the medicine and he has substitute that drug. So that complications are arising in Indian scenario. But basically, if a generic version is there, and if you want to confirm that, you can go on the Indian regulatory website where a generic versions are available, and you can substitute for a branded drug molecule, provided the inactive ingredient should not have any adverse effect into the body. So that has to be checked before giving the generic version. I hope so. The things are clear.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an information session, and participants really enjoyed it. From their question, we can interpret it. Okay, now moving to